Okay? We need a new map, written in 2002. The map we inherited isn't any good. The old roads mislead, and the landscape keeps changing. People are confused and drift from place to place. Clothes scorched by fire, eyes red with smoke. The old map tells us to look for gold in the city. So we go to the city and find a garbage dump. We need a new map with new roads and a new destination. Some people fear a new map, and they cling to the old one like flies to flypaper. But the old map leads to pepper spray, tear gas, gulags, death camps, and the end of the world. I don't have a new map, so I write stories. The stories draw lines, dig holes, and above all, remember. Let people know who we are. Tell them what happened to us, an old Mayan woman in Guatemala said. And in this harsh world, draw your breath in pain to tell my story, Hamlet said to Horatio. I seem not to speak the official language, the poet Adrienne Rich said. So she created an unofficial language, the language of the heart. Drawing a new map is like singing. Voice handler asked Loon why she talked so much, and Loon replied, well, sir, I'm not just talking to my own ears. The spirit beings tell me they have no place to live. That's the reason I keep talking. Loon sings the sacred into the world and creates a new map. Sing your song, friend. Tell your story. The map we inherited isn't any good. The old roads mislead. We need a new map.
Great. I'm going to keep rolling in between because sometimes these little conversations are good. Is that okay? I'm going to keep rolling as we talk because sometimes when you're explaining the poem before you read it, it's good to have.
You mean, you want me to go on here?
Yeah. I want us to, let's pick another one.
Do you have one? Yeah, you pick one that you might like.
Yeah, I think we should do like many of them. Yeah, another few, 4 or 5 maybe. Well, this is in both books. That's in this book and this book.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Housing crisis we did. We did endangered species. The Dominion Hotel.
All right, I can. There's some people like, the trouble is it's a little bit out of date.
Oh,
but
you're right.
but
The Dominion, yeah, I know the people that.
I don't know what's happening there now.
That's the one on Water Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lamplighter bar is underneath.
When the reason is I lived there when I came in 1965.
Oh, right. You told us that in the
and then it became gentrified.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still gentrified
Now
or
it's still a rooming house, but some arts people bought it so they have some galleries downstairs now. But there's still rooms available, like a rooming house.
Shall we try it?
Okay, let's try it.
So I say these are all real events.
Yeah.
Let me just It does bring back a few memories to me. I came here from Ontario in 1965, and
you were working in the mill? No, logging, right? Or were you logging?
I was doing some logging and some prospecting, and also working underground.
Underground?
And back in 1965, there were many, many old-timers. There are still old-timers living here who go way, way back.
Yeah.
Not so many anymore, but there were lots then.
Yeah. Okay, anytime you're ready.
The Dominion Hotel, written in 1997. When I came to Vancouver in January 1965, I lived at the Dominion Hotel on the corner of Abbott and Water Streets. It was a quiet hotel, and the residents were retired loggers, miners, fishermen, and construction workers for the most part. They were the men who built the resource industries of British Columbia, and the Dominion Hotel was their home. Rent was $40 a month, and the well-run beer parlor was our living room. You could buy a 10-cent glass of beer in those days, and I would sit and listen to stories told so dramatically that trees would fall right by our table and fish would jump into our beer glasses. Gastown didn't exist at that time, and Woodward's at Hastings and Abbott was an important part of the downtown East Side, as it had been since 1903. In 1997, the Dominion Hotel became part of the gentrification that threatened the downtown East Side. Residents had lots to say about this threat to their homes. The problem is that there are no other areas where you can rent a place at this price on your own. One day, they're going to come in here with a bunch of army trucks and ship us all out to the sticks like POWs.
That's a nice one. Nice poem. See which other ones we got.
We want them to be downtown East Side poems, I think, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess our historical ones, BC ones.
Here, I don't know. This is a real powerful one, but it's kind of bitter. It's literacy is about the power to say who we are. I've written a poem about a woman. This is true again. And she was studying. She was 18. She had a hard life, and she was reading My Fair Lady in an English course she was taking. And of course she knew that the flower girl was way smarter than that professor. Right. But what she really wanted to talk about was her sister who had committed suicide. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's read that. That's good.
You think?
That's in that book, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You
Sure.
can try it.
Yeah.
But that's what happens to the kids who go to school and the school doesn't reflect their culture. Their words are taken away from them. There's nothing in that school that will support the things that they want to talk about. and what their life is about. It just isn't there.
So I feel alienated.
Yeah. It's pretty heavy. And yet, it's really making an important point.
Yeah. You sure you're okay standing? You don't need to
Yeah, I like it better. I'm part horse. I've reached that stage in my life, Jace, where on buses some people will get up and offer me their seat, and it makes me feel very old. And sometimes I take it to be polite, and sometimes I just tell it I'm part horse. Literacy, written in 1990. Tony was 18 and living with a man in his 50s. She was taking a grade 10 English course and reading the musical play My Fair Lady, adapted from George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. Neither the language or the plot interested her, although she thought the flower girl was a lot smarter than the professor. What she really wanted to talk about was her 22-year-old sister, mother of 2 children, who committed suicide by hanging herself with a bedsheet in a closet too small to stand up in. The police remarked, it must have taken her a long time to die.
That's from what year was it?
I wrote it in 1990. The actual event happened when I was in Edmonton. I got hired to start an inner city community newspaper called the Boyle Street Macaulay Community News in the late 70s, and they hired me from Vancouver because there was so much infighting in the inner city, as there seems to be in most inner cities. So they brought in an outsider and said, you had 6 months to start this paper, and then we would hand it over to somebody from our community. And that's what happened. And as far as I know, the Boyle Street Macaulay News, community news, is still going.
Have to find out, yeah. I'll have to call my cousin in Edmonton and ask him.
Yeah,
Boyle
do that.
Street,
Do that.
Boyle Street? Community
Yeah,
news?
Boyle Street Macaulay Community News. Do you want? I could write that down for you if you like. Boyle Street Macaulay Community News. The Boyle Street Macaulay are the 2 districts, and it's part of the inner city of Edmonton. Not nearly as big an inner city as here, but Edmonton has access to the whole of the north, you know. So
let's do this one. How about this one here? This maybe I won't come this way.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It's not directly to. It's true.
You remember Kevin? Kevin's been working.
Yes, I do. Hi. Good. Yes, I do remember you.
Let's know your poetry.
Sure, let's do that one.
We got started here and we're too tired to stop.
We're on a roll. I want to get all these on tape, because you never know how much you're gonna change them next time. We'll have to do them again.
This one's true too, you know.
Yeah, I recognize all those places. The Marine View has changed now. It's a different owner, different name.
And it's over across from the Deera Co-op.
Down in Alexander?
Yeah. And
we still have to do our walking tour one day. I'll have to walk around the downtown east side with you, doing some conversations about different stories you got from there.
yeah, I'm actually don't know as much as some other people in the terms of the walk. I have done walks, but I wouldn't be the best person for that. We had a bit of a walk going, you know, and I do have some notes on it. Maybe I won't come this way again. Written in 1995. Morning sun is a rare pleasure which calls me out to walk west on Pender Street to Clark, then north to Powell, and west to the fish dock, past the BC sugar refinery. Being Sunday, the Marine View coffee shop is closed. But it's closed forever now. The Port of Vancouver has other plans. Seagulls swirl and cry in the bright sun over the Lions Gate fisheries, over the Marine View coffee shop. Closed forever.